Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal, who is in his US visit, is addressing the United Nations General Assembly today. Also in this edition of Kantipur News, we have updates about the protest of the teachers against the school education bill, Iran's controversial bill related to its strict dress code, and the SAF Under-19 Championship, which begins in Kathmandu today. Good morning, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Protesting teachers and the government hold talks, agitating aside claims the Home Ministry had called for dialogue regarding the protest route and security concerns. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal, addressing the United Nations General Assembly, holds a parley with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre about bilateral relations and aid. Iran's parliament passes a controversial bill that would increase prison terms and fines for women and girls who break its strict dress code. And Jude Bellingham scores an injury time tap-in as Real Madrid leave it late to beat Champions League debutants Union Berlin. Napoli and Arsenal secure wins as well. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal, who is in his US visit, is addressing the United Nations General Assembly today. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal is addressing the UN General Assembly with the effort of assuring the international community about Nepal's peace process. Prior to this, Prime Minister Dahal had attended the climate summit. Premier Dahal had also attended the program titled Democracy Delivers, which was organized by the USAID, Ford Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation. He also attended the high-level meeting on prevention of pandemics and a dialogue on investment for development. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dahal has held a parley with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre. According to Prime Minister Dahal's secretariat, the meeting included significant discussions regarding bilateral relations and aid. Prime Minister Dahal will leave for China from New York after addressing the UN General Assembly. The Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress is set to begin today, which will assess the performance of the government and discuss on agendas for the larger committee meetings slated for the Nepali month of Mangsir. The meeting, which will be held at the party office in Sanepa, will delve on the performance of the ministers from the party as well. Saying the government had failed to deliver on the public expectations, the group of Shekhar Koirala had formulated the strategy of strongly criticizing the ministers from the party. Koirala-led group has also made preparations to criticize party president Sherpade Deuba for operating the party without holding adequate consultations. The meeting will also hold talks on the changes in the working schedule endorsed by the Central Committee meeting held on the 26th of July. Earlier yesterday, Koirala and party vice president Dhanaraj Gurung had met with Deuba and warned him against making unilateral decisions. Meanwhile, representatives who had been deployed at the districts for the campaign to strengthen the party structure are to furnish their recommendations at today's meeting. The larger committee meeting of Nepali Congress is slated to begin from the 29th of November in Kathmandu. The teachers who have closed the schools and are agitating have held talks with the government. In the meeting held at Singadarbar early this morning, talks have been held regarding the demands of the protesting teachers, format of their protest, and concerns regarding peace and security. However, the teachers have said that it was not a dialogue, but merely a talk regarding the route of the protest and security-related concerns. The agitating teachers have said that the Maitigar Mandala-focused protest will continue today. Prior to this, the teachers had refrained from holding talks with the government and had demanded for their issues to be addressed by the parliament. The meeting was attended by Minister for Home Affairs Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Minister for Education Ashok Rai, government representatives and representatives from the agitating teachers. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on the ongoing teachers' protest? Your options are A. Politicization of education, B. Crisis of faith, and C. Seeking rights. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The SAF Under-19 Championship begins at the Dashrath Stadium in Kathmandu today. India take on Bangladesh in the inaugural match at 1:30 p.m. followed by a clash between Pakistan and hosts Nepal at 5:30 p.m. While Nepal are aiming to win the title in the home ground, defending champions India have claimed that they are the strongest contenders of the tournament. Nepal captain Jiarat Sheikh has said that despite short preparation, the Ace Group side was in form. Group A of the tournament includes Nepal, Pakistan and the Maldives, while Group B is made up of India, Bhutan and Bangladesh. A playground in Fidem of Pastar is yet to be completed because of the delay on the part of the contractor company. A contract of 107,987,781 rupees was agreed with PS Kirateshwar Moinachuli JV on the 25th of January 2021 for the construction of the playground of Fidem Higher Secondary School. According to the municipality, complications have surfaced in organizing sports activities in the playground because of incomplete construction works. Despite the flattening of the ground, works related to retaining wall, parapet, office building, changing room and gates have yet to be constructed. Nepali tennis players are making their final preparations for the Asian Games. The government and several associations had sent their players to foreign nations for training. However, Nepali tennis players have trained abroad on their own expenses. Nepali tennis has not been able to achieve expected success at the Asian Games because of poor domestic structure. Even at the 19th Asian Games, Nepali tennis players aim to secure at least one win. A total of 6 Nepali tennis players, 3 men and women each, are to compete in 6 segments of the tennis tournament at the Asian Games. The players have been training for the Asiad since the 16th of June. Coach Surya Bhushan Vajracharya has been training the players on the technical, strategic, physical and mental aspects of the game. However, it is not possible to prepare all the players in a very short period of time. In addition to that, the players have been training abroad on their own expenses. They have had just 1 week of training with the coach. Parents and guardians of the tennis players have been motivating them during their training sessions. Tennis has been surviving in Nepal only because of the investment of some well-off families. However, results have yet to be obtained in the absence of well-managed academies and coaches. As tennis is an expensive sport, many aspiring players do not have easy access to the required equipment. It is difficult for the few tennis players to remain in the sport. Nepali women's number 1 Avilasa Besta, Mahika Rana and Sunira Thapa have been playing tennis with the investment from their family members. Only a few players have been supported by the corporate sector. Nepali tennis has not been able to grow in the absence of management of required resources by the government. Tennis in Nepal and the players do not have adequate courts. New players can be produced while more tournaments can be organized if the courts are well managed. With support of the government and the association, tennis can grow to become a sport that can represent Nepal at the international level. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. Protesting teachers and the government hold talks. Agitating side claims, the Home Ministry had called for dialogue regarding the protest route and security concerns. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal addressing the United Nations General Assembly holds a parley with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store about bilateral relations and aid. Iran's parliament passes a controversial bill that would increase prison terms and fines for women and girls who break its strict dress code. And Jude Bellingham scores an injury time tap-in as Real Madrid leave it late to beat Champions League debutants Union Berlin. Napoli and Arsenal also secure wins. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 6 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.